Superman is more than just a comic book character. Since his debut in 1938, the Man of Steel has become a global symbol of hope, justice, and heroism. He's been the subject of comic books, cartoons, radio plays, TV series, and blockbuster films. To millions of fans, he represents strength, resilience, and moral clarity. But behind the shining S emblem lies a shadow, a chilling pattern that Hollywood insiders and fans alike have whispered about for decades. It's called the Superman curse. Over the years, actors who've worn the cape, or those closely tied to Superman productions, have met with disturbing fates. Some have been typecast and seen their careers collapse. Others have suffered personal tragedies, shocking accidents, mysterious deaths, or lives plagued by scandal. Again and again, the Superman legacy seems to bring misfortune to those who try to embody him. Coincidence? Or something far darker? Tonight, we investigate the legend of Hollywood's most haunted role, the Superman curse. The story begins with Superman's creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. In 1938, they sold the rights to their character to DC Comics for a mere $130. The deal was standard at the time, but it would become one of the most infamous contracts in entertainment history. Superman went on to generate billions for DC, but Siegel and Shuster saw almost nothing. Shuster's eyesight failed in later years, leaving him nearly blind and unable to work. He died penniless in 1992. Siegel also lived with financial struggles for much of his life, often speaking bitterly about being cut out of the profits from his own creation. Many fans believe the curse started here, born out of greed and betrayal. The idea that Superman's creators were robbed of their legacy has fueled the notion that those who profit from Superman may pay a karmic price. In the 1940s, Kirk Alyn became the first actor to play Superman in live-action movie serials. For children at the time, he was Superman. Yet Alyn's career stalled almost immediately. Casting directors refused to see him as anything other than the superhero, and he was permanently typecast. He eventually quit acting altogether, a victim of Superman's shadow. Later in life, Alyn joked that Superman ruined his career, but the laughter carried a sting. To fans of the curse, Alyn was its first clear victim. The most infamous chapter in the Superman curse is the story of George Reeves, who starred in the 1950s television series Adventures of Superman. He was charming, heroic, and beloved by children everywhere. But like Kirk Alyn, Reeves found himself trapped by the role. Hollywood executives dismissed him, believing audiences couldn't take him seriously outside of Superman. His career stalled, and by the late 1950s, he was struggling for work. Then, in June 1959, George Reeves was found dead in his Los Angeles home. He had been shot in the head. Authorities ruled it a suicide, but from the beginning, the case was shrouded in mystery. Witnesses reported hearing multiple gunshots. No fingerprints were found on the gun. Reeves had been involved in a complicated love triangle with Leonore Lemon and Toni Mannix, the wife of Eddie Mannix, a powerful MGM executive rumored to have mob ties. Some believe Reeves was murdered to silence him or to protect Hollywood's image. Others say he really did take his own life, despondent over his stalled career. Whatever the truth, his death remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries, and one of the strongest proofs of the Superman curse. In 1978, Christopher Reeve donned the cape for Richard Donner's Superman, the movie. To this day, many believe he gave the definitive performance. He wasn't just playing Superman, he was Superman. His kindness, optimism, and physicality captured the very essence of the character. But in 1995, tragedy struck. Reeve was thrown from a horse during an equestrian competition. The accident shattered his spinal cord, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. For the rest of his life, Reeve relied on a ventilator and intensive care. Yet rather than retreating, he became an advocate for spinal cord injury research. His resilience inspired millions, and he became a symbol of courage beyond the screen. Still, fans couldn't ignore the cruel irony. The man who played Superman, the indestructible hero, was rendered immobile by a single accident. And the curse didn't stop with him. His wife, Dana Reeve, who stood by his side, was later diagnosed with lung cancer despite never smoking. She passed away in 2006, leaving their son an orphan. The Reeve family's suffering became one of the darkest chapters in the curse's history. Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane alongside Christopher Reeve, also suffered tragedy. Though she was beloved for her spirited performance, her personal life was plagued by mental health struggles. In 1996, she disappeared for several days and was later found in a paranoid state, living on the streets. She was hospitalized and diagnosed with severe bipolar disorder. Though she eventually recovered and became a mental health advocate, her Hollywood career never regained its earlier momentum. In 2018, Kidder died from an overdose, ruled a suicide. Fans immediately connected her death to the curse, pointing out that yet another iconic figure from the Superman films had met a tragic end. The curse's reach doesn't end with Superman or Lois Lane. Many actors connected to the franchise have met with misfortune. Lee Quigley, the baby who played Superman as an infant in Christopher Reeve's film, died at just 14 years old after inhaling solvents. Richard Pryor, who appeared in Superman 3, later developed multiple sclerosis and died in 2005 after years of suffering. Marlon Brando, who played Superman's father Jor-El, faced years of family tragedy, including his daughter's suicide and his son's manslaughter conviction. Dana Reeve, as mentioned, lost her life tragically young. The list of misfortunes keeps growing, fueling the belief that the Superman curse touches anyone who gets too close. Even in the 21st century, the curse seems to follow the cape. Dean Cain, who played Superman in the 1990s series Lois Clark, was typecast and struggled to land major roles afterward. Though he continued acting, his career never reached the heights many expected. Brandon Routh, the star of 2000 SIX's Superman Returns, was praised for his performance but saw his career fade after the film underperformed at the box office. He later admitted that being Superman nearly destroyed his confidence. Henry Cavill, who debuted as Superman in 2013's Man of Steel, has had a complicated relationship with the role. Though beloved by fans, Cavill's run has been plagued by studio turmoil, canceled projects, and conflicting reports about his future. In 2022, Cavill announced he was returning as Superman, only for DC to walk back the decision weeks later. Many fans saw this as another twist of the curse. And it doesn't stop there. Even supporting stars have faced strange troubles. Amy Adams, who played Lois Lane opposite Cavill, has spoken openly about Hollywood burnout and nearly walked away from acting. Kevin Spacey, who played Lex Luthor in Superman Returns, became one of the most disgraced actors in history following multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. One by one, Superman projects seem to leave a trail of damage in their wake. Adding to the curse's legend are the many strange accidents reported on Superman sets. During the production of Superman, the movie, a stuntman was seriously injured during a flying scene. In Superman Returns, multiple crew members reported freak accidents with equipment and unexplained injuries. Some even claim that paranormal events plague Superman productions. Rumors of strange shadows, eerie technical malfunctions, and even ghostly apparitions have circulated on sets. While skeptics dismiss these as coincidence, fans of the curse insist they're signs of something darker at play. Over the years, fans have developed countless theories about why the Superman curse exists. Some believe it's karmic retribution for how Siegel and Schuster were exploited by DC Comics. Others think Superman is simply too iconic, a role so big that it swallows careers and destroys personal lives. Some point to numerology and occult theories, arguing that Superman's status as a modern myth draws real supernatural energy, good and bad. Still others believe the curse is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once people expect tragedy, every misfortune looks like proof. Fan reactions to each new tragedy show how deeply ingrained the curse has become in pop culture. When Cavill's Superman Return was canceled, social media immediately lit up with jokes and whispers. The curse strikes again. Despite its terrifying legacy, some believe the curse is fading. Actors like Tom Welling, Smallville, and Tyler Hoechlin, Superman Lois, have managed to play Superman without major public tragedy, at least so far. Others argue that the curse isn't real. It's just the harsh realities of Hollywood magnified by the weight of such an iconic role. After all, Superman is more than a character. He's an archetype, a modern god. To play him is to step into a myth, and myths often come with a price. Superman is supposed to be the strongest hero of all. Yet the men and women who've brought him to life have often been crushed by tragedy. From George Reeves' mysterious death to Christopher Reeve's devastating accident, from Margot Kidder's struggles to Henry Cavill's chaotic career, the Superman curse continues to haunt Hollywood. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's typecasting. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something truly cursed about the Man of Steel. Because in the end, Superman may be invincible, but the people who play him are not.